there we go. That's that handsome face I want to see, bro.
What's up? Oh, my fault. I have a little stand-up in my front room. I have my backpack. I was like trying to sit against my backpack.
Hey, my guy Gone. My guy Gone is in the building.
Yes, sir.
Bro, so you just
Gone
went
on
to
NuRadio.
Florida. So what?
Gone on NuRadio. Thanks for having me.
Oh God,
Hey.
Gone on the radio,
Coming.
bro.
Thanks for coming.
Hey.
Yeah, for sure. Bro, I met this guy. I was sitting making music in front of a restaurant. He's like, "Hey, bro, you make music?"
Yeah,
That shit was crazy.
That's crazy.
it's really awesome. Like, I feel like you link with the coolest people in the most random circumstances. Like, I know we were just friends on Snapchat, and I kind of like I try to tap in with everyone on Snapchat because it's like there is a big creative community, but really people are kind of like doing their own thing in their own lane, and it's just like really we could like build a team together, and everyone could help each other where they need help. So yeah, we like locked in somehow on Snapchat, and he was like, "Yo, let's make some music together." And I was like, "Sure." And then my boy Seraph came through too, and then we had like a studio session in the car. We stayed up till like 4 a.m. and like it was really really cool.
Damn. Yeah, that shit was hard as hell. Bro, we gotta get back in the studio again, talking about that shit. I got a beat for you, bro. Okay. It's called Dick Juice, bro. It's called Dick Juice, and I want you to scream on that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should be happy or sad, bro.
You should be happy, bro. Every bro, all you know how all metal shit be named weird ass shit, bro. Dick Juice, bro.
Hey, let's do it, man. Hey, I got him on the screamo stuff. We were freestyling, bro. Started turning up on the screamo stuff. It was cool. It was cool, man.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask, can you tell the story about how you came to Tennessee and how you were like down bad and through good grace that you came up type shit a little bit?
Nah, bro. I'll share that a little bit because like on my platform, I don't really like to like talk about how I got here, but just kind of like give thanks to everyone who's like supporting me. But yeah, pretty much what it was, man. When I was in Florida, I used to work in a restaurant for like 5 years. Was like barely getting by, and a couple friends and I put together, and we got a little house in Orlando. So Orlando's a little bit more expensive than Sanford, so we're leveling up and everything. Then the pandemic hit, and one of my roommates, he has a breathing issue, so he was just like, "Hey, can you guys like not go to work for 6 months?" And pretty much we all went broke. And then pretty much when I was like, "Hey, bro, like I kind of gotta like get back to getting money," which like it was a blessing in disguise because during the pandemic, that was when I started doing freelance artwork more, and it gave me that push to start believing in myself and like getting money on beats and like making clothes and stuff. Yeah. But pretty much they kind of like took it the wrong way when I asked if I can go back to work, and they was just like, "Yeah, bro, we want you to move out." So I was kind of like down bad. It was so crazy because when I was in elementary school, I used to be a peer mentor. The kid that I mentored views me like a big bro, so he locked in with me on SoundCloud. He found one of my old songs on SoundCloud, and I got the mobile version, so you can't see your messages. I got on my computer one day. I seen a message from him from way back, and he was like, "Yo, Paul, it's RJ." Shout out RJ, that's my dog. But he was like, "Yo, what's up, bro? Like, you're my mentor. I love your music and everything." And I was like, he's like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Bro, I can't lie. Like, I'm about to be like living out my car. Like, my friends kind of folded on me and everything." And he was like, "Bro, it ain't much, but you can come like sleep on the air mattress on my floor, like with me and my mom type thing." And they was living like, like Section 8 type of thing. So literally had to humble myself, take a step back and do that for a little bit. And then it kind of was like a step back for 2 steps forward because my friend happened to get a house up here, and he was like, "Yo, bro, do you just want to come to Tennessee? Like, let's like step out of our comfort zone." And I was just like, you know what? That might be what I need right now. So I only took what I could fit in my car, and I was just like, I guess I'm gonna move to Chattanooga and see what's up out there. And like, no expectations at all, just like, could be something new, but let's see what's in store for me. And then end up being like exactly what I needed at the time. So like,
that's fine.
Yeah, it's like everything happens how it's supposed to be. But then I met Seraph out here, and I met some really cool artists out here. So it's like now I've just been expanding my network a little bit more. But when I show up back home, it's all love stuff. So it's cool,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like that's how it's supposed to be because, sometimes, at least on a local level, people kind of don't support you because we kind of get this notion that only one person can make it out. Yeah, because everyone's like, I'm gonna make it out, I'm gonna make it out. But it's like when we work together, we can create a network and we can make a platform for everyone. That's why I think it's cool that y'all have your podcast and everything, because it's like everyone eating together. That's how it should be, instead of someone being like, nah, I do this, no one else could do this, you know?
Yeah. And then it also brings go for it, Joy.
No, I was just saying it was about the support. Like you said, it's a community, and it's a community like all over every spectrum, every region, every place. So like you support us, we support you, and by supporting each other, we grow. You know what I mean? So I was just saying,
Exactly.
I resonate with that. But go ahead, JoJo.
Like sometimes you do make an art that, all right, this is unique to you and you can't, it's really hard to implement other people. However, with a podcast or with a community driven project, they can be put in the spotlight and everyone can be put in the spotlight together. And it can build a, as you said, build a community, a special community. And that's what I love about you, bro. Cause when we first was in the studio session, we were talking about community and how we want to link with like a lot of artists and have just different hubs and different places just to go and like play shows and just chop it up and just be artists. And that's just crazy.
Well, for me, that's my whole brand. It's called Much Love Worldwide. So like, it's stamped on me. Like, I feel like I have to embody that. But sometimes that missing link is all people need. Like, when I chill with you, you were like, you know, I haven't really like, I'm still putting it together and everything. But when you were showing me your beats and we were freestyle, I'm like, bro, he's got it. What? And I'm just like, I'm like, bro, like, all you have to do is link you with Seraph, and we're gonna make a beat and like literally freestyle a song right now. And like, bro, to be honest, I didn't even go to sleep that night, bro. Like, I was literally listening to the voice memos. We literally didn't have a mic, so we recorded a track on voice memos in the car. And like, bro, it's so fire. I'm literally like all night. But like, I feel like that's how it's supposed to be, because like honestly, there's a lot of creatives, and you know, like we move with passion, but there's a lot of people who move by greed. So like promoters and stuff, they kind of want to sell you a dream to be like, yeah, bro, you want to play a show? Yeah, you want to do this, do that? Like, they take advantage of the creative, especially younger people. So it's for us, like we're building like a hub off of good intention. Like, yeah, we all want to shine together. Yeah, we all have the same passion. But for me, like my joy is from seeing my people shine, like seeing everyone that like just talking to you, us connecting and be like, yeah, we're both doing it for the right reasons. So it's like, yeah, bro, if I can line it up so we can start doing shows and everything, I feel like that's me doing my part. And I thought of this little saying the other day. It's like, I just planted the seed that fed the whole village. And it's like, that's how it should be, you know? Like, if you have it in your power for me to just be like, yo, shout out JoJo, like, shout out NuRadio, and then everyone does that, and that's what it takes for y'all to prosper, I feel like I did my part, you know?
Yo, much love.
Yeah, much love.
Much love.
Yeah. But that's the kind of two sides of the coin. Like for me though, because much love is one of my brands. That's like what I first started with. But then Vaughn is like the other thing. So like for me, like I always think about, you know, like the human condition, how we are like, we have like two sides, you know, we have like kind of like the part of us that's like our God self, that we want to do the best, we want to help out people. But we also have that like darkness to us, like that call to the void, you know, people be going through depression and everything. So for me, I try to like embody the two sides of the coin, where it's just like much love is my best self, and then gone is like me exploring like the darkness of like the human mental, you know, and like kind of like the call to the void, how right now it's kind of like a crisis with like the pandemic going on and everything. A lot of people like been getting down bad and their mental health, like suicide rate is up type of thing. So for me, it's kind of like, how can I express this in a way that like people can understand, but without kind of like publicizing it in a way where sometimes I feel like things become trends and then become exploited, and then it's not really for the right cause anymore.
Yeah, you know? What it should be. Yeah,
exactly.
How important is that like split, like that balance for you in your art?
Well, for me, it's like, it's really important to me because like, you know, I kind of have the image like of an artist, but I kind of promote my artwork only because I don't want people to like I don't want to get famous just because someone's like, I like your tattoos. I want people to really like understand my cause and be like, this is why I'm making art. This is my motivation. You know, this is my goal. You know, but I guess you got to kind of play it in both ways because, like, you know, when I started to do the freelance art, I was just like, kind of feel like I was selling out because I'm like, now I got to actually do this from the business ends of it. But the more business it becomes, the less about passion it becomes. You know, it's kind of like a trade. You know, and it's like that's why I kind of like stepped back from that. Like I was taking commissions for the longest, but I still work a little 9 to 5, so I don't really have to like pressure like selling my artwork because it feels weird like selling yourself, you know?
Yeah. No, I completely relate to that. I've been going through that lately, and I recently, as recent as today, honestly, got back to like working on beats just because I like working on shit, not like because I gotta drop something and it has to gain this many amount of streams and shit. So I'm like, I'm relating to you on another level right now, brother.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like I kind of feel like we all linked up for like a reason. It's like the right time, right place, right people.
Yeah.
But like I feel like that's the great thing about like the creative community is like we also learn from each other every day. Like every day is about like what I can learn, how I can grow as an individual. But like for me, it's like if the lessons I've learned from like the struggles I've endured can help other artists like believe in themselves and like find their calling, then it's like, you know, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
But that's it right there. It's like we want to make money off of our artwork, but we don't want to like become a product and sell ourselves because you know, like these days, I feel like sometimes the thing that is like the person who's most talented, you know, making the best stuff from passion isn't getting the same amount of revenue and attention as someone who's like kind of crashing out or doing something just for attention, you know?
Yeah.
Because like now like the focus has changed from like in person to like we spend more time on the internet now, you know?
Yeah. I think a big thing with it is just like, and not to cut you off, I mean,
That's good.
But yeah, I think a big thing with it is just like how social media makes everyone like it prioritizes people who like post regularly and like are on it constantly. So artists feel that pressure of like I have to release this much stuff or I have to do this much to be in the algorithm so people will notice my work. And so I'm just relating to what you're saying, bro. But like you're saying.
Exactly. And it's crazy. To be honest, I'm still trying to like figure it out because you know the algorithm and everything, like you can get on the bad side of the algorithm where if you were just like artists, I feel like it's important for us to take little breaks from mental health. You know, like you can't really press yourself to be like, I need to drop 3 beats every week, and then you know you're going through it or like a real life situation, and you know you might sacrifice your quality to be on time for a deadline, and it's like that's when it starts to become stressful and it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like this is supposed to be our release. Like this is how we deal with what we're going through. Like for me, that was kind of when I like discovered music. I used to play guitar a lot just for fun, but I started making beats and it was like I was kind of like in like a depressive headspace and like you know sometimes in our world it's hard to express yourself because we have so much access to information that like we're like reading through things and like we don't really connect with people anymore, you know? It's just everything's just kind of like passing us by, so it's just like how can you like express yourself and deal with like what you're doing, like what you're going through in a way that's not like self-harm or like you know like a lot of people turn to drugs and like alcohol and type of thing, you know? So for me it's the music.
I said, do you be watching animes and shit?
Yeah.
What you be fucking with?
Well, I fuck with a lot of throwback shit. Like I was talking to JoJo about it. Like I fuck with Yu Yu Hakusho and like One Piece. I like Demon Slayer. The new shit is pretty cool. Like I don't know. with everything. Honestly, my homie Rashad be putting me on everything. So when we just chill, he was like, "You gotta watch when I'm reincarnated as a slime. You gotta watch like."
Yo, that's a fire show. Sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. Anime, bro. I fuck with anime so much, but sometimes like the little fan service shit be getting kind of weird. Like I'm quick to just like shit off. I don't know. Like
that's why
High School of the Dead, bro. It gets intense.
High School of the Dead is fire, bro. The zombies and shit, bro. I love zombie shit. Yeah. But like going back to what you're saying about fan service, that's why I really like. One, I like 90s anime because of the art style. I love the hand drawn shit. But also, there's not a lot of fan service. There is some fan service, but it's not really like over the top like how it is today.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
It's because they know a lot of shonens are aimed towards like 13 to like 18-year-olds, and so like they know like niggas is horny type shit essentially.
Yeah.
Fanny shot.
Type shit. Type shit.
Why you just out the little kids all over the world?
Hey, I was one of those kids.
You was reading your meat to anime?
Weird shit. Someone comes in, like,
oh God.
You watch an anime, it'll be like action. They'll be like fighting and shit, and then all of a sudden, someone's mom walks in, and then it's just like going straight to the weird shit, and they're like, "What y'all watching?" Like,
oh God, on that RDC World shit, bro.
My mom's having me stop watching anime because of that shit.
Your mom watches anime?
No, she had me stop watching anime because she like walked in the room when I was watching that shit, and it was like scenes where it's like, I can explain that shit. And I was like, bro, I'm not on that shit. I'm not on no hentai shit. This is just a fire show.
A parental block.
So shit.
I didn't know anime not like that.
Yeah, it depends on the show.
Yeah. They have a whole entire genre called hentai, bro. It's called hentai means pervert in Japanese.
Yeah, I know what hentai is.
Yeah, that hentai shit, bro.
Oh, really, Joy? How do you know what hentai is?
Uh-oh. Rule 34? Rule 34?
What you be looking up?
I don't be looking up. I just be scrolling past.
So, what do y'all think about the creators of hentai? Like, do you think they're just like getting their bag and like finding their network, or do you think they're like on some weirdo shit too?
I think
it depends on what you want to do, bro. Like, I don't think it's weird as long as you're not doing that shit in real life. Certain shit.
I guess they just create it and then masturbate to it, and then let the world do what they got to do to it too.
Yeah, because like anime is a genre,
they know this community will gravitate towards it.
Yeah, no, everyone has their thing. Like, it's a big world. Everyone has their thing, you know.
Yeah.
And
I can't be mad at anybody for doing that though.
Bag. Why not get the bag?
Internet money.
Internet money, right?
Crazy. And then also in Japan, like a lot of that shit, because of the culture, is very repressed. You can't really like anything out of the ordinary is kind of like, all right, bro, like you need to chill the fuck out. Yeah. Unlike the US, so you gotta get that shit out somehow, bro. You know?
Hey, is that the place where I heard like on like the porno side of it that like they'll be like blurring stuff out, like they don't even show you Jones like that.
Yeah, that's the reason why tentacle porn is a thing. It's because tentacles is not a penis, so you can show that.
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
dude, like if you watch Japanese porn, they do blurring that shit out. And that shit as a like teenager, that shit used to piss me off, bro. That used to piss me the fuck off, bro. Be like, God damn, bro. Let me see it, nigga.
That's interesting. So you don't prefer like when I was a kid, I used to watch softcore. Like there was this book called Zane's Sex Chronicles. It's like a black book. And they had like a show. They had a show of softcore porn. And I didn't mind that like they didn't show the penis or any of that shit. I was like, oh, like the sensualness, the music playing. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, that's fire. That's fire shit.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
That's what everyone wants to hear a man say, JoJo. Good job.
Oh,
Nah, bro, I
Stay
can't
on?
softcore shit, bro.
No.
Watch softcore shit. Fuck all that shit.
Breaking down all the boundaries.
I hope
Man,
y'all
y'all
don't
don't
be
even want
trying that stuff. Like, leave it on the screen now.
Wait, what are you
y'all
saying?
don't even know how I got
Or if
into
you
it.
try it, you know, do you, I guess, if
Yeah.
she's okay. As long as it's consensual.
Yeah. I feel like girls say like they'd be like, I want it so hard and this, and this. And like they're not about that shit. And you're like, bro, all you have to do is just tell me, like,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to say that shit. I don't give a fuck about that.
But
Just
I think it's also because too, like, porn has kind of changed how we look at the action as a whole. Like now you like it's supposed to be more intense than intimate. And so I think sometimes girls lie about the intensity because they still want you to have that intimate portion. And if they match you on intense, you'll match them on intimate. But it never works out that way because with more intensiveness, you lose intimacy.
yeah.
You gotta start with that intimacy. Like you gotta build up to that. And then like you can have intimacy and then it get intense. But you can't start with that intensity and expect intimacy because you lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't have the stamina for that either.
I disagree.
No.
They're trying to go 100 right away.
No, I disagree only because I think intensity can be a form of intimacy. And the reason why I say that is because, not to get into my adventures, but like whenever I like was like smashing a girl intensely that I remember fondly, she was like, she considered that her intimacy because she was like, she don't want that pussy shit. She don't want that soft, slow shit. And I was like, damn, you like that? You big body? And she was like, you should have big body. So, so I say that to say, no, like on a serious note, I say that to say, like, I feel like the intimacy just depends on the relationship of the two people who are engaging in the, in the intercourse. Because she, yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I would have thought.
Everybody is different, so there was always gonna be outliers. I feel like too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some people are really into it, and some people will go further than you are willing to go. So, yeah, there are some people who are like BDSM, let's get it, spank me. And then there's some like, just rub me.
Yeah. Well, that's why I feel like we should like become comfortable with like discussing with our partner like your boundaries and like your needs, and like because like for me like I come from like an all woman household, so I got 3 sisters, so like just growing up with them and them having like these little buddies and everything. For women, I feel like the mental is more like they want to please their man to keep their man happy and everything. And for us, like, sometimes we have that one track mind of like, I'm just trying to get there type of thing. So, yeah. So it's like,
gems then.
Yeah. So sometimes, like, at least for me, like, personally, like, as an adult, like, I just kind of have that discussion, like, what do you like? Like, let's please you. Like, let's both get what we want out of this instead of, like, someone leaving here feeling like, they didn't get what they wanted,
Yes.
Yeah.
And you
I
can't
agree with
make consent without a conversation.
Exactly. And it's like now I feel like the hookup culture is more popping than anything now. So it's just like outside of a relationship type of thing, you got to kind of like understand your different partners. Like, what are your needs? Like some people like, I've been with people who are like, choke me out. I'm about to faint type shit, like safe word type thing. But some people want that bump and grind. We're going to put on the pleasure P, all that.
I mean, I understand. I feel like I understand why hookup culture is the way that it is. And I feel like it feeds off the same ideas like fast food. It's like fast food, you don't have to work for fast food. You just go and get fast food and you eat it. But like the same thing with hookup culture, you don't have to work for a relationship and like do all the work to get to like just fuck it. You just fuck. But people are starting to realize, well, anyways, I don't know about people, but I realize like that shit, just like fast food, is like after you eat fast food for a long time, you see how it affects you, like your body and shit, and you see like this is not good for me. And so in the same way in hookup culture, when you start just getting hella bodies and shit, you start realizing like, bro, this isn't being like all the energy I'm getting from all these different people that I'm messing with is like fucking with my energy and like
me up. Yeah, throw me off.
Type shit is throwing me off. So yeah, bro, like that shit, That's my little shit that I realized. But
Yeah.
I
think everybody has to realize that for themselves too. Like you got to stop and be like, okay, this is what I like, and this is how I have to express myself to people I'm gonna be moving with forward sexually. And you only have to have that conversation once, because you're only gonna, well, I won't say once, but you only gotta have it with someone you're sexual with. So it shouldn't be something we shy away from. I wish, honestly, women would open up the conversation more, because like I think, well, for me, like Nick said, we can't talk for everybody, but for me, like I feel like you're right. Women do want to please their man to keep their man. So, because that is their desire, sometimes they don't say, okay, I don't want to do this because it's not my personal desire, but I think you want to do it, so I'm going to do it for you. And if we would just speak up and say, no, that's not what we want to do, the man can be like, okay, we don't have to do that. Or can be like, well, can we, it's a give or take, because like you said, you both want to come out of that feeling like tired and sleepy, and you just went through something, you know what I mean? Like, I need a cigarette after this kind of love. So like, you gotta have a conversation.
Yeah, and from my perspective, I feel like, kind of like the man's duty in the bedroom is to like satisfy your partner, because like, like we're usually going for whatever, but like for a girl, it's like the girl is choosing you as a partner. So it's like kind of your duty to like make sure she's getting what she wants out of this. And it's like, but I also view sex as a different thing. Like I view it more as like a spiritual bonding. So like you were saying, like honestly, like catching hella bodies and everything and fucking with people with the wrong intention, I feel like it's gonna kind of throw you off, because you're mixing like all these things that ain't supposed to be mixed. But like when you can come from a place of just honesty, like even on like the hookup thing, where it's like not the deception of like, yeah, I'm trying to wipe you, yeah, I'm trying to do this and that, but really like, we both have needs that we're trying to meet. Like everyone's adults, we're busy, I'm trying to plug you in on the weekend, but like let's both get what we're looking for and recharge,
Yeah.
Charlie, any thoughts?
I have a question. I have a quick question. So tying in what we were talking about earlier about starting a OnlyFans and doing that, how does that tie into what you just said, as in I want to make sure that things are still intimate, still having both parties pleasured and having that spiritual connection? Because how I see it is, if you have a team of girls on OnlyFans and doing those types of things, you're giving a spiritual bond to all those women on that OnlyFans. Therefore, you're taking a part of them, and then also you're posting that online, so for everyone else to see. So how can those two ideas correlate together?
It's just like establishing the boundary of what everyone's comfortable with, like if it's just like, this is me and you and we're doing something and we're just posting online, we never watch it, and it just happens to get us money, then that's cool. But like having everyone on like the same page, where it's just like, yes, we do have different partners, yes, we have our own connection. So like making sure everyone's comfortable with it, because like I wouldn't want to like push it in that direction where it's just like, if we hook up, it has to be on the OnlyFans, and someone being like, I want to fuck with you, so I guess I'm gonna say this is okay. But like these days, things are kind of changing, where like the internet is like an endless realm. So it's like something could be on the internet and you kind of forget about it. Like if you posted something on YouTube like 7 years ago, you'd be like, dang, I saw that video on YouTube. If you're not like actively like thinking about it. But sometimes I feel like things occupy our headspace a little bit, so we allow it to like control our mental, to be like, damn, I'm on OnlyFans, I feel ashamed, or like, what if my dad sees it or something, But like, it's just like the transparency and communication with all of your partners, to be like, yes, like there are like 3 different people, and like, yes, we might have a little rotation, and if y'all are cool with each other and y'all are cool with me, then like we could do this together. But that's kind of why I haven't like took that step to actually like create it, because like I'm just kind of like trying to iron out the details, because like I know sometimes, like, on another tip, like, you can kind of get, like, blacklisted for having OnlyFans or, like, doing, like, type of thing, you know? Where, like, if you go to apply for a job, they're going to do the whole research on you and be like, oh, no, you do sex work. Like, we think of you different now. And it's just, like, really, it's, like, your body is just a part of you. It's your vessel, you know? Like, sex is an art, you know? So it's, like, really what you do outside of work is your own business, you know? No matter what it is.
Stop playing with these niggas.
Kick it with some niggas on some trap shit. Niggas with some jumpers if they pull up, got no amnesty on some white shit. It's like Christmas if I rap shit. This shit a gift is blessed to me like destiny. I get on stage and I rap shit. But it's funny how you like, bitch. 5 niggas in the whip, y'all got 2 hammers, so I know I catch a hat quick. Had to adapt quick. Niggas knowing me they hand out, but I won't shake a hand and I won't give a damn shit. Courtesy of niggas who ain't had shit. That road a little longer when you be you, cause you ain't never gotta act shit. I flip the script and made them dip like sauce or some Mac shit. I double back and double back. That's double back shit. 2 niggas stabbed me in my back. I felt it double back shit. But shit, I felt it in my spine, it's reaping through my back quick. This shit is tatted on me, Slim Reaper, that's the Mac, bitch. Still ain't heard my tape, go download that shit on your Mac, bitch. Slide with a Mac, bitch. I got the cheese to set them up, then rap about it. Put that shit up in the track list. I feeling like a rap diss, but niggas never outside. We gon' feel this dummy ass, it's like a match quiz. Back the fuck up, I got a scene on some act shit. Back the fuck up, this a facial, you can't tap this. Back the fuck up, this a chain, bet not snatch this. Back the fuck up, it's runch, nigga, you can't match this. Open up his head, it's well done like it's a steak in him. I'm the last nigga, when they made me, they start making them. Medium rare, niggas can't cook me if they baking them. Can't play with him, another nigga try me that I'm facing him. Stepping on a pedestal, my demons, yeah, I'm facing them. Nigga tried to run from me, he thought that I was racing him. But now I ain't got that leg, so if I catch him, I'm erasing him. Your old nigga broke, shorty, I can come replacing him. Dig the dirt up and stuff him in him, that's a place for him. My brother like an iPhone, they tryna put a case on him. This place for them, flash light him up like it was waking him. I'm the top nigga, top up, but it's a place for him. Why would I trip, nigga, why would I dip? Why would I slide for a nigga who ain't on shit? Why would I die for a nigga who a bitch? Why would I lie, the truth coming out my lips? Why? Cause when I fire the truth coming out this clip. Why? Cause you another flam nigga who on dick. Old niggas hit my dick, man, then they daughter lips. When we went on that 2-man, we was alone in the lift. Bitch flam, so I know to get her sister after this. Another tape coming, punchlines too legit. Run this bitch back and go and catch him after this. The members in the building, we ain't stepping off the shit. Nigga.
I have a good question for Joy. So we have that. Like I see that point, but wouldn't it be like, would it be like facetious to say like, hey, like men are kind of maybe hardwired to just do bullshit, kind of like that bullshit of like going girl to girl to girl to girl to girl.
Oh yeah.
And that's the reason why it's kind of like, but that's different for me though, because I don't do that shit. I don't do that shit.
Wait. Don't pause in the middle of your point to say that, because
Everyone except for me, you know.
Like, yo, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't do that shit. So I just disprove my point. Because I don't do that shit. But I got moral reasons why I don't do that shit. And also, I care about people. And that's why I don't do that shit.
I feel like women be on bullshit, too.
Yeah, women be on bullshit, too. I can agree with that.
Y'all be on crazy bullshit. Y'all be on the same shit.
Explain.
Do you desire to get your nut off?
Yes.
Then you're on the same shit.
But, okay, that goes to the whole point. You're on the mutual moment. Do you not want your girl to have a mutual moment? You don't want your girl to get her nut off?
What you mean a mutual moment? What are you talking about?
So,
but girls are pimps too, bruh. Like we said, like we were talking about earlier, girls are pimps, dudes are pimps. But girls be having side hoes, men be having side hoes. Huh?
Girl pimps gonna get your nut off for the most part, unless it take you a long time.
Yeah. Yo, let me tap in on
know
this.
How to pimp you through sex. You gonna get yours.
I feel like in our mind, like, that girls are fast because girls aren't often getting satisfied. Like, bro, you'd be surprised, like, how many girls that, like, you know, you talk to and you, like, really get in that zone with, and they'll be like, a guy has never given me an orgasm.
Yeah.
I've never been satisfied with sex. And, like, to go with how everyone's fast these days, it's because I feel like hurt people. So it's like, a girl gets dogged by a guy, so she was like, all right, I'm gonna move like y'all. I'm gonna start like dogging everyone. And then it's the good guy that gets hurt by the girl that's been hurt. So then we're like, dang, this is how these girls moving now?
But
I'm
I
gonna start
think,
moving like this. And
but I
then
think,
we're hurting each other.
but I think it still comes to like who you are though. Like your example can be applied to me in certain ways. So I would say that it depends on the person, and if you want to do how others treat you, or just keep on moving the way you be moving.
Yeah,
and you have to make that decision for yourself. And if you can't let someone else change you from who you are, and that's something that Charlie taught me as well. But
well,
because every single time go for it.
But also too, that comes from experiencing growth. So even though you could attain and get to that point mentally, it's because you have gone through some stuff, been the pimp, been the hoe, whatever you needed to do to understand that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't even think you need to be the pimp to do that shit though.
I said the pimp or the hoe.
For sure.
In whichever lane you were in, because some hoes have just been hoes. Some hoes become pimps. Some pimps get hoed. Flipping pimps get hoed.
I feel like
God damn, Joy with the Hoe-ology, bruh. Joy with the Hoe-ology, bruh. Joy with the Hoe-ology.
I feel like, like it's important to dig deeper into like people's mental process of like how we're like trying to satisfy ourselves. Like someone's like going through something, they're like trying to be intimate to like get out of that zone, like let's say like someone's going through like a depressive episode and they feel like, all right, I'm gonna go on a fast lane and try to fuck with everyone because I'm trying to fill that void in myself. We gotta kind of like analyze the people that we're around and be like, why do we do what we do?
Yeah,
that's important as hell.
And that would mean that
really breaks it all down though. Like,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I feel like communicating with your partners is like the most important thing, because when we create these unrealistic expectations, that's when people get hurt. To be like, oh, like I'm fucking with you, you're gonna be my boyfriend, and then like all of a sudden you ghost them, and then you can be like, what did I do wrong? And then everything's wrong.
Sure.
But if it's really like, yo, I got my needs, like I fuck with you as a person, like we can have this, but like just like communicating and being transparent with your intentions is how you avoid people getting hurt. Because like with me, like not being from here and like moving up here, like I have a lot of stuff going on, so I'm not looking for a relationship, but I just communicate that with my partners, like I'm looking for like a sexual type of relationship or like a friendship. And like if that's not what you want, then I understand, and we can stop right here, rather than trying to like paint the picture you want to see and being like, nah, I could be your man, I'll raise your kids, I'll be your husband.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's when people get hurt, if I just hit and quit after I said I was going to be your man type of thing,
And I think too, to get to that point of like relational conversation, it has to be met with some compassion too. I think you as a person are compassionate and you care about the other person and their feelings, no matter how many partners there are, right? Like compassion isn't just something that you reserve for one person. You can be compassionate to everyone. So like, and I think that goes with JoJo as a person too. You are a compassionate, caring person. So like, you have to have some level of consideration and caring towards the other person in order to get like that. But the way of the world now is, like you said, hurt people, and hurt people lack compassion, right? Because they've been hurt too many times. So how do we restore that level of compassion in people? Because like without that, we can't really move forward, but we're kind of at a stalemate because we know we don't have that, but we don't want to supply that without getting our feelings hurt. And then
Exactly.
the cycle of hurt people.
Well, I feel like, you first.
Okay, for sure. I was gonna say, I think niggas gotta be brave. Like niggas gotta be brave, bro. Like at the end of the day, until somebody takes that first step and be vulnerable, it's like we can't make any progress until somebody does that. And I know that's like kind of like an obvious answer, but I feel like a lot of the hardest questions have obvious answers, because it's like we know, like you were saying, we know what the problem is. Nobody is just willing to go out and be like, all right, I'm gonna let my guard down. I'm gonna be genuine with you. I'm gonna actually be vulnerable and actually like let you know like what it is. because, like you said, hurt people. So people have been hurt in the past, and so everybody's holding that like in their mindset. But like I said, I think you just gotta be brave, and that's what I've been trying to do lately. It's just like move with the intention of like I'm gonna be compassionate, but I'm also gonna be assertive and like my demands for a relationship. Because the thing that has been really clear to me lately is just like you can make your life, like you can ask for what you want. And so if you're not asking and setting up these boundaries with someone and letting them know like this is how I would conduct like a relationship with you, then how are they to know type shit? So that's mine.
Some say it's old school, you say it's new school. I say it's whatever you choose. Always on the move, or you gon' snooze. Hate to be the bad news. Categories and boxes, everything of the past. Ain't no looking back, making love on the track. You say you kinda like it, but I know you really love it, can't get enough of it. Yeah, you say you kinda like it, but I know you really love it, can't get enough of it. Give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more. This, that shit that you love, that you love. This, that shit that you need, that you need. This, that shit that you love, that you love. This, that shit that you need, that you need. I still feed with the S, ever so grammatical, kinda sorta radical. Fried potato out of hole, you don't know and I don't know what the future holds. So we flow up in the wind, let the bass hit our skin. Singing lanes, spine sensation, got a cool vibration. Penetrating souls, got us hopping over obstacles, I suppose. You keep your eye up on the destination, gotta see self-preservation.
Cameron, what's up, man? What are we doing? What are we doing?
We're gonna go skydiving, man. We're gonna go skydiving right now, today, in this very moment. We're going skydiving.
And this is your crazy idea?
Yes, my crazy ass idea. I'm shooting a music video right now. This is that is out right now. Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. Go get it. This is that by your boy, yours truly, C-FUNQ. With a Q. The Q mean what you want it to mean. Mama, I love you. LD for life, man. We lit. It's going up after this. Yes, sir. That place up in her skin, so be flying with the wind. Feel that place up in her skin, so be flying with the wind. Feel that place up in her skin, so be flying with the wind. Feel that place up in her skin. This, that shit that you love, that you love. This, that shit that you need, that you need. This, that shit that you love, that you love. This, that shit that you need, that you need. This, that shit that you love, that you love. This, that shit that you need, that you need. This, that shit that you love, that you love. This, that shit that you need, that you need.
What I was saying also is that like sometimes people like don't appreciate your honesty when you're transparent with your intentions. Like, you know, like if you're talking to a girl and you're like, hey, you know what, like I'm real busy, like I got my music thing, I got my work thing, I got my family, like I'm really like just looking for like a partner type of thing. Sometimes like people will be offended by your honesty because they're used to people lying to them. And it's like, oh, you're just like looking for sex. And it's just like, yes, but I just want to be honest with you about it than to like sell you a dream of something that you want and then you be upset when that's not what it is, you know?
Yeah.
But what I was saying before though is like, I feel like we got to step out of our comfort zone and embrace healing, because a lot of times we get in this headspace where like, we know what we're doing isn't right, but we kind of do it anyways because we're like, fuck it. And we kind of like lose our faith in the world and how people are moving. But personally, I feel like sometimes you have to be the one to lead by example, you know, like You know, I've been dogged, I've been cheated on before, but I didn't let that like rock me to the core because I'm just like I could be the one to be out here hurting people, but then the cycle continues. You know, so it's like allow me to like be the bigger man to be like, you know, I know that I've been hurt, but because I've been hurt, I don't want to put other people through this. So allow me to be the one that's going to be honest, and maybe this will like pioneer a new wave with like people actually being genuine with their intentions and like not hurting each other. You know?
Yeah. And it helps you too to like analyze who you're dealing with before you start dealing with them, right? Like you start picking partners differently and you start seeing different like traits in people already that you're like, okay, this ain't we can't get past this, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the lesson is gonna be tested though. Like, to be honest, I had a little situation where, like, you know, I had a friends with benefits type of situation, you know, and like we're cool with that. That's what it is. But I went to a show over the weekend, and when I popped up, I had seen her with another dude at the show, and I was just like, I can't even trip. I know what it is. I'm just gonna put my shit down, so you know.
Like, do what I gotta do.
Yeah, but like the thing is, that's kind of my test because like just speaking like for men, like we're not always right, you know. Like sometimes we do get possessive in our relations, where that's why we get jealous if a girl's messing around with someone else because like I thought that was mine. But something I've learned from having sisters is like you don't own a human being. You can't, you know. That's some like old fashioned shit where people are like, my wife is my property type of thing. No, it's a new age. It's a new generation. So what we're trying to do is just like embrace everyone's right to do whatever they want with their body, you know? And it's like, you know, if this girl wants to go around and have multiple partners, who am I the one to stop her? Because to be honest, I should feel thankful that she's choosing me to be one of her partners, you know? So like share this intimacy with her, you know?
That's always how I looked at it. Is like I don't like ask about body counts and shit because I'm like, bruh,
I don't want to know.
Nothing like type shit.
I don't want to know. All I know is I'm just trying to be the best. Like I'm trying to be in
the leaderboard type shit. You feel me?
Yeah, that way. But you know, like, but it's also kind of unfortunate. Like, you know, you talk to a girl and she'll be like, "My body count's like 18, but I never got a nut from a guy." I'll be like,
"That's crazy."
Sorry.
That shit is crazy.
Because I'm gonna be big mad if I leave her house and I didn't get didn't get mine. I'm be like, we're never talking again. Like,
I'm dead. He said we're never speaking again. Bro, that's actually crazy because I like didn't understand the concept of like not getting like my nut off until like I actually went through the experience of not getting my nut off, and I was like, damn, girls live like this, bro. That shit's crazy. Cause that shit made me mad, but I also had to be the bigger man because like I don't want to put no business out there, but let's just say like this is not the place to be having sex. So I was like, damn, I got a dip. And she's like, yeah, sorry. And then I was like, damn, bro, no nut November starts. Shit hurt. But anyway, so, just to know girls live like that as well. Sorry.
Yeah, but putting ourselves in the other person's shoes, like understand like how guys will be like, man, girls be tripping. Why is she mad? Like all this, but it's just like, yeah, if you didn't get your nut either, I'd be upset. Why she cut me off? Because I can't even please her. Like it makes sense when you think of it from the other perspective, because if you messing with a girl, she ain't doing it right, and you don't get yours, and you leave with the blue balls, you're gonna be like, ghost, you blocked now.
Dang, y'all ghosts. I just be like, damn, I fucked up.
So that's why you need to have the conversation of how you need to get your nut off, so they know what to do to get your nut off.
I like look on the
to get their nut off, and you all are nutting together. Woo!
Exactly, and that's when I feel like it's more of a spiritual experience when you're like messing around with someone and you're both like reaching that highest level of pleasure and like that plateau. Because when it's just one way or the other, like, bro, y'all know about the Kundalini, right?
What's that?
Right,
bro. There's like, it's a whole ancient practice of like how like through sex you can like become like spiritually awakened. So it's like, yeah, so like there's like a whole book. It's like an old Indian book where it has like thousands of positions and everything, and like they view sex as an art, but it's also like a spiritual practice of like you're reaching like new levels within yourself. And you know, like I'm kind of like a psychedelic dude, so I kind of like to explore like that mindset of like where we can go with passion and where we can go with like intimacy. So for me, I'm all about like trying to like please my partner, but maybe that's why I've had more success with it than to just think one dimensional, like I'm just gonna chase my nut and then get out of here, you know?
Yeah. No, that's fire, bro. I've never heard about that. But if any beautiful ladies out there want to do the Kundalini with the kid,
oh my God, Nick!
Kundalini.
Oh my God!
Shake my head.
Right.
No, but
I'm trying to get my shit awakened, nigga. Nigga sleep.
I feel you. This nigga try to get an awakened devil fruit and shit. All this one piece shit. All this one piece shit.
Wow.
For sure, man.
But no, I think it's like all about, you know, like stepping out of our own perspective because, you know, we see the world from our own eyes and we think that's all that it is. But really, we all make this world together. It's a collective. So like that's one thing I try to do is like anybody that I'm talking to, I try to like register how they feel about how I'm approaching them or like what I'm saying. And it's just like you got to kind of like empathize with how your partner feels, you know? So it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna try to like treat this person how I would want to be treated on like the most basic answer, like the Gandhi treat others how you want to be treated. But it's just like understanding your partner and trying to put yourself in their headspace to be like, yeah, it wouldn't be cool if someone did that to me. Yeah, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
fuck with you, bro. I fuck with you.
Yes, sir.
I fuck with you, bro. You get
on the radio.
You did. You did.
Out. Well, I guess you didn't.
NuRadio.
Coming on. Let people know where they can find you. What are your socials? Anywhere we can find you. SoundCloud.
So I'm gonna tell you all my socials, and I'm gonna tell you all the moves coming up, and kind of shout out my team real quick.
Yeah.
So like, it's gone from Much Love Worldwide on NuRadio. You can find me on Instagram at Polygon PAULY GXNE. You can also find me on Gone by Gone on Instagram. That's gonna be my merch shop. Also, No Masters Collective is my new merch that I'm gonna be dropping out in London with my homie Felix. Shout out Felix, the Prophet. and also Much Love Worldwide. We're still doing our thing. I built that with my day one back in Orlando, so we're just kind of like trying to make this more of a charitable cause and like express like empathy for people with mental health issues and kind of trying to be like positive mentors for people who are like missing a parent, you know, because we all kind of grew up in like a single parent household, so we're trying to do our duty to like guide the youth, you know, because these days like I feel like we need positive role models. But the upcoming moves, I got some new music I'm gonna drop. You can also find me on Spotify under Prod Gone, and also on YouTube. Right now, I'm not on Spotify anymore because I just wanted to keep all my music on free platforms so people wouldn't have to pay to tap in. Yeah. But you can download my discography on Bandcamp. I got some of my acoustic stuff on there too. So I got some collabs coming up with Seraph. I got some collabs coming up with Fly Nonsense. A couple different artists, but I'm gonna keep that in the vault. You know, me and JoJo got some stuff too on that dick juice.
That dick juice, baby.
Also,
you can't end that well. Dick juice.
Yeah, but I'm traveling around a little bit more. So a couple of big moves that I got coming up is I'm gonna be handling commission for a smoke shop in Orlando. They're called Recharge LLC. I'm gonna be doing the artwork for their building. I'm also gonna be shooting some more videos for my artist Fly Nonsense, Bro, and we're gonna be kind of doing the PR rollout for his new album Chrome that's gonna be dropping. But that's in the works, so you know I'm gonna stay hush about it. But shout out Uga Man, shout out SB4, shout out Fly Nonsense, shout out Hugs, shout out Sarah, shout out Micah Inc., shout out Cooper Dome. Like, shout out everybody who's been rocking with me from the jump. Y'all gonna see this, and you already know we're on the radio. What's up?
Yes, thanks for coming. Glad you're here. We look forward to seeing everything you do, and we just wish you the best.